education. We are an edtech company. We've developed teacher training modules for the early years. I'm here to not just learn about AI, but also learn how the great man speaks. Thank you.
Hi, it's Dr. Madan, Principal, Symbiosis International School, Pune. We've been using Grammarly for quite maybe for the last 5 years and so. So just I'm here to downplay the hype of AI. Yeah, thank you.
Hello everybody, I am Dilpreet from MRIS 46, Manavratna International School 46, Gurgaon. I am a coordinator there and I am here basically to understand, like everybody said, how to leverage AI into the classroom. It's going to be like staying here for a pretty good while now. Great.
Comfortable without the mic. Good morning, Dr. Jyoti Chaturvedi. I'm from... sorry. Good morning, Dr. Jyoti Chaturvedi. I'm from Kutch, Gujarat. I'm the principal of KP School for Children. This is the school belongs to a rural area, basically, but not actually rural. Gujarat is cannot be considered as a rural. I'm here to just get an insight how this AI be useful in the teaching learning process. Basically, I'm a psychology department, so it is against my went away, but still I want to know this. How it is replacing the human intelligence and how it is coordinating or enhancing whatever it is. So just I'm here to get an insight into it. Thank you.
I'm Ritu Sharma, principal of Mayur School, Jaipur. Basically, I'm here to see how AI is incorporated in our day-to-day learning teaching methodology. And as Sir said, how to make a dent. Even I want to make a dent for myself as well as my students. Thank you.
A very good morning and Jai Hind. I'm Dr. Anupama Mishra, Principal Sunbeam School Varuna and Sunbeam International Varuna, that is the Cambridge program. And the campus head. I'm also the president of Sacharya Sahodaya Complex of Varanasi. And my passion is to better education every day, to see the happy child at focus. And of course, I've been in the education field from last 30 years. And in administration more than 24 years. So I have attended many workshops and sessions. My objective of being here is what to select best and carry back to my institution, which I can really implement and work upon that further with my teachers and the students. So I have picked up and chosen, and I have selected the sessions where I went to be, and this was the first session that I have selected what like AI has to be and what we want to be from there. Thank you.
My name is Srinivasan Sriram, Principal, the Man School, Delhi. Prior to being the principal of Man School, I was at the prestigious Mayo College in Ajmer, where I was the IT director for a good 3 decades. Technology, how it can enhance educational outcomes for the betterment of the entire education fraternity is something that I'm very passionate about. I'm one of the speakers in the track and hope to share some thoughts with you all. Thank you.
Everyone, myself Muhammad Azhar from Knowledge Academy School, Chennai. So I know Arunabh where he is going to talk, but I have attended his AI sessions. But still, I will be looking forward any new takeaway from AI, and I'm clear that he will provide insights on that. So that's why I'm here, and I'm also one of the speakers in the tracks.
Kunal Bhadu, Director, Kunskap School and Schools, India. Kunskap School and Schools, basically our main forte is personalized learning, and been with Arnab, I think earlier this year at the BET in the UK, where we heard a lot about AI, and I'm here in this forum now to just understand and share essentially different viewpoints of how AI is being used or can be used, and the road ahead in education, because it's a very say premature thing. It's a developing thing, and I think the combined human intelligence in terms of how we tackle it is what is the need of the hour. So look forward to the sessions today.
Priyanka Chaudhary. I belong to Jaipur only. Although I'm an artist, but I'm taking care of my father's school, which is situated in the semi-urban area of Jaipur, Jaipur, 35 kilometers from here. And basically, I'm not a techie person. So I thought when so many sessions are there, it's a very good opportunity I've got where I'm going to come face to face with something who I'm not. So I'm here to learn a lot. Thank you.
From Sunbeam English School, Bhagwanpur, and from Varanasi. We have many branches in Varanasi of Sunbeam Group. I'm the principal of the school. Actually, today, at present, we need to teach, we cannot stop our children from using AI. Nor I want to leave traditional way of learning. So now I have to take the middle path and just a blend of AI with traditional learning I want. And to teach my children, need to.
Desai. I'm the master knee at my school, GGIS Ahmedabad. And well, we've been toying with AI and AI's tools in our school for some time. Today, I would want to learn a lot more about what else is possible. Because what we are probably doing is, AI is like an ocean and we've probably filled our cup, but there's a lot more to learn from each other. So looking forward to it.
Bajla, I'm the founder of Taurian World School in Ranchi. It's a boarding school. AI has been, a lot of interest for me personally, and I believe that, AI would probably change drastically the way we teach, and more importantly, the way we learn. So I'm excited to learn more from the experts here as to what are the possibilities. Thank you.
My name is Varun Jindal. I'm running a educational company called Edver, in which we provide international travel experiences to children. My education has been engineering, and it's something that I'm always looking forward to, that how we can add AI or any other technology in experiences and everything. Also, I'm a dad of 2 children, so I just want to know, what AI has in store for us. Thank you.
Here, I'm part of an organization called DC Advisory. We are an investment bank. In the past, we have helped both K-12 schools as well as some edtech companies raise capital or conduct M&A, etc. So that's sort of, and as part of this, AI is something that I cover. AI is something that I track both here as well as sort of in US. And to that extent, this topic is of interest to me. Thank you.
I'm Girish Kumar, and I'm head of Jodhamal Public School, Jammu. So as far as technology and AI is concerned, I think I've always been intrigued with technology. I personally believe, tools keep changing, but the mindsets remain same throughout. So, when I was a boy, a school-going boy, we used to have those help books. And my father would always tell me that, the help books are to be used as a tool and not as a crutch. So I think as we grew up, we came across Google, and it became demigod for a while, and now AI is dethroning kind of Google. And so we have Meta AI and Chat GPT and Gemini and all that stuff that is in vogue these days. And I'm sure with passage of time, this will be replaced too. But I need to, as an educator, learn as to how to train my children, how to use AI as a tool and not as a crutch. That's very, very important. And then the ethical uses of technology, that's also very important, because with the onset of AI, I think technology and AIs are the great levelers. There was a time when education used to be, the quality education, so to say, used to be the prerogative of the elite class. But with the advent of technology and Google and AI, I think the education has gone to the grassroots level, and even small young children from the rural background who could not afford the quality education of so-called big schools, even education has gone to their doorsteps. So how to perhaps use AI to mobilize those children who are otherwise, away from the mainstream of society. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm Jayashree here from Elpro International School, Pune. I lead the academics team of the entire school. There are 3 schools within the group. And I am deeply intrigued with technology, and that is why I am here, I guess. And I will be speaking shortly and learning from peers, learning from many of the experts here already who've delved into being AI fairly new to us, fairly new to almost all of us, especially the public forum. So there's a lot to learn. I really don't think we have that many experts unless somebody's really from a coding background or an engineer or who's done kind of, in terms of educators, we're still very nascent. This is what I feel, and a long, long way to go.
I'm the chairperson of CAD Education. We run a school called Invictus International in Amritsar, and I'm an AI enthusiast. That's it. Just make it quick.
Joe Dhillon. I am the founder, director, and head of school Invictus International Amritsar. And like all of you here, I'm here to explore the pitfalls and the promises of AI. And I must say also to witness, I'm borrowing Sal Khan's words, educated bravery. So very excited.
Save his words for your speech. I understand some people arrived a little late, so we'd find time during the day to hear from them. I've got 30 minutes, and Manjot's going to keep time. So if I run over time, then she's the problem. Before I get started, as people were introducing themselves and their understanding of AI, I was reminded of this conversation I had long, long back with this 9th grader in our school. He came to see me in my office and told me, your Facebook got hacked last week, didn't it? I was like, yeah, it did. And he goes, you want to know who did it? So we got into a conversation, and half an hour later, he eventually confessed that he had actually hacked into my Facebook. And I said, well, I'd like to see this in action. So why don't you do it? He said, no, your machine's too slow. Tomorrow I'll bring mine. So he brought his own machine. And then he says, well, we just need to be on the same Wi-Fi network. And you open your Facebook and I will know. I said, then do you need the school Wi-Fi password? To which he replies, no, everybody knows it. And he goes on to hack my Facebook again. So once all of this is done, he asked me this question that, I need to learn further. Who in this school can teach me more about this? And the most honest answer to him was, nobody. None of us know how to do this. So you have to go find your inspiration outside the school. I'm giving you the story before I speak to tell you that you have to find your inspiration outside this room. With the sheer number of PhDs in this room and people who spend a life solving tech, I don't see how I would add to this. But what I will attempt to do in the next 28 something minutes is to give you my perspective on how it's looking like for me as an educator. Are there any maths teachers in this room? Somebody maths, science? Maths? Okay. Maths. 3 maths teachers. Physics. Anybody else maths? Maths. I will pick on you, like you picked on me when I was a student. So watch out. So question only to the maths teachers. Who said something that sounds something like this? Sorry. Trying to. Doesn't like my pinch. Wow. Cool. Show me. Play. Current page. Patinga. Okay. I would try not to touch this thing. So who said something that sounded like, नहीं क्या चाहिए भाई हो गया आ गया समझ में ये तो मैं ही हूँ. So any guesses? What to be, what not to be? Yeah. See, only the maths teacher had to answer. They spent a lifetime asking her to find their ex. So it's the math teachers who get picked on. And as I wrote this as my title for this thing today, I thought, okay, let me go to ChatGPT and ask it to dress me like Shakespeare. I thought that'd be pretty cool, right? So it did. That's the photograph I gave it and told it, dress me like Shakespeare. And that's what it did. How you see, these are the two same people.
Voice on. I was supposed to come up and welcome you to the track and to set out some norms. I think the best way of saying this is there are no norms beyond. Rather hypocritically, please run to time. But obviously you can see we are the dynamic duo. He's Robin to my Batman. So please enjoy the day. And if we can just take this opportunity now to thank our panelists and the chairs of our panels and also our workshops. This has been a real co-created track. It's not about Arunabh and I. It's about actually the whole group came together to create this track. So I hope you enjoy the day, and I hope to get back soon once we've started off the Youth Summit. So I will leave you in the very capable hands of Mr. Singh, Dr. Singh.
So this question I had was that were all of these companies waiting for ChatGPT to say, we have a model, and then Facebook comes up with one, and Microsoft comes up, and Google comes up, and I'm like, what is this happening? So I tried to dig into this a little and found out that the earliest reference to artificial intelligence comes from 1950. 1950. They've been researching on this since then. Go ahead. This is not a classroom. You will not say, may I come in, ma'am? And you can leave whenever you want to. So if there is a phone call that just can't be avoided, just please excuse yourself and come back. But not on speakerphone, not on this side. So 1950, Alan Turing is talking about artificial intelligence. And actually, they created this machine. There was this movie, the Turing test, this movie that came up, Imitation Game. In Imitation Game, they actually solved the Second World War by tech that was developed then. So since then, scientists have been working on this, and so they would allude to that possibly a little more when he's speaking. The bit that changed was the hardware. We finally had processing power to process all of these logics. Thus, you see all of this happening right now. So the thought of this is still far ahead in comparison to what is available to us. And when we look at artificial intelligence, we have to come out of this mindset of, I will give it a prompt and it will give me a prompt back as a ChatGPT sort of a thought. The implications of this on the way we live and what the future of our kids looks like is far more. If it will work, yes. This signifies AI. But there is a reason why these 5 other photographs exist on this slide. The invention of wheel changed how humans live. The invention of radio changed how we progress forward. My mother recollects that when somebody told her that there is a thing called radio and voice comes out of it, she thought somebody must be sitting inside it. And from there to now navigating the tech that is around for her, it's such a sea change. The television changed things. The internet changed how we navigate the world around us. There was quantum shifts that happened. And my favorite one here is the electricity. We can't imagine the world without electricity. And when it was invented or discovered, because it exists naturally as well, there was no way for those people to really know the implications that it would have. AI, to me, is similar general purpose technology. We're already starting to see a lot of this in many things around us. And this is going to only fast forward very quickly. Maybe we are already at an age where we have to stop asking our children, "Bade hoke kya banoge?" A lot of admission interviews have this standard question, what will you become when you grow up? Would you agree? Do you agree? Yeah. We have no idea what they would become when they grow up. It was a couple of months back that I got to know that elephants have names for each other. And they talk to each other. And using AI, scientists were able to figure it out. I want to ask of you, if you are the person who's researching on what are elephants talking with each other, then what job do you have? Are you an animal doctor? Are you an anthropologist? Are you a scientist? Are you a coder? What are you? So these subjects that exist in silos right now, there is a high likelihood that they will come and combine. Somebody who's researching on this, and by being able to speak or understand how elephants talk to each other, can actually change their migratory patterns and have that kind of impact on life. That person is good in tech, the person is good with animals, the person is perhaps good with geography. So things are starting to combine, and as educators, this is a reality which is super clear in front of us, that the silos of subjects need to come together. So the track that is talking about project-based learning, that is more likely the future. And we are going to see this shift, like I said, across not just education, possibly healthcare. Right now, we go to a doctor when we feel ill. The doctor then does some diagnostic and says, this is the medicine that you need. But all that happens in our body is happening because of how different proteins in our body are folding. So extension of this logic could be, you can predict what will go wrong in the body and fix it before it goes wrong. In which case, medicine becomes something which is super personal to each person. Are you with me here? Seems like a logical extension, because you can now process that human DNA at that level because the technology is available, the hardware is available. So this doctor of the future is good in tech and is good in medicine. Can we take this one step forward and say, all expertise that exists right now, the body of knowledge that we have, is going to be almost free in the future. Right now, you're hoping that the doctor that you go to knows exactly what has gone wrong and now is going to write a prescription for you. But with the way AI is advancing, the possibility that AI has actually told the doctor, well, it looks like this is the diagnostic, and in all likelihood, this is the medicine that this patient should be taking, and the doctor is now assisted with AI. Similarly, the same outcome is to the teacher as well. And I know some people in this room are way ahead of this curve already. I know at Kunstkapital they've been toying with this idea for a long time, where every child is unique and there is a tailored learning program for this child. So rather than saying this child is weak in math but good in English, for us to know exactly why is this child bad in maths and how do we fix it for this particular child. There is enough research that says children who are tutored have better academic outcomes. So if there can be an AI tutor for every child that assists the teacher in the classroom, this is going to be a much better system to work with. But let us not jump the gun and start pushing AI into our classrooms. For you must not forget that on the previous slide, according to AI, both these people are me. Yeah? So this is where we are at. So what the theory looks like, but what we're actually getting to see. And this is a paid version of ChatGPT. So we need to take some very cautious steps forward, understanding the reality that this is here. This is the future. This is how we will go. And so it becomes so central to our existence, like we can't imagine running a school without electricity. One day, if there is no power in the school, it's a problem. That day is very near to us, where one day without an AI assistance is going to be a problem. It would become such an assistive tech. Now, my speakers, I've actually seen everybody's synopsis. All the speakers who will speak today and tomorrow, I had access to everything that they would say. So if I'm sounding slightly wise, I basically copied stuff that they were going to say. Some advantages of speaking first, right? So I put everything that they were going to say into Wordle and asked it to create a word cloud. So we're not surprised with what are the big words that appear here. Then I felt, you know what? Let's play with this a little more. Let's just get rid of the word AI. And that's the word cloud that comes out. It could be either that or AI assist learning. All of us are on these touchscreen phones, right? Do you remember doing a course on how to do Facebook? Or how to run Instagram? Yeah. Right. Okay, I will rephrase. People who were born when this technology existed already did not need to be tutored on it. How much time do I have? 12 minutes? Okay. My young daughter of 6 years of age, a couple of years back, nobody noticed you coming. You can take a seat here. She was finding difficulty in getting a particular word. She was reading a book. So I said, well, you know, what came before, what came after, contextualize, figure this out. And she couldn't figure it out. She said, why don't you just tell me? To which I said, no, I would really like you to figure this out. So where would you go to find out the answer to this? And I'm hoping she would say dictionary. She says Siri. She goes to Siri, asks for the word meaning, and gets a word meaning and moves on. That's how she understands finding out things. If I had stocks of Oxford Dictionary, I would have sold them on that day. Because that reality has changed. So, would I be speaking to people who are already convinced that AI is the future? Yeah? Is there anybody here who says, no, this will pass? There's nobody here that believes that it will pass. So if this is not going to pass, then are we now on this question of what does it take to be human? Because since we have records, since we have history, we are the only people who've been able to think. And we take pride in the fact that both of our fingers can do this. And none of the other animals can. So it's actually for the first time that we've got technology that is starting to compete with us. If I would ask anybody in the room to say, give me 10 script ideas for AI, you would take maybe a day. But if I would ask the same thing to ChatGPT, it'll give it to me right now. So these kids who are in our school are going to find themselves in jobs that we can't conceive. Yet our responsibility is to have them ready for that world. And for us to be really ready for that world, we need to understand what it truly means to be human, and what is that something that technology cannot do, or cannot do just yet, or shouldn't do. Are you with me here? To me as an educator, one of those prime things is our ability to be discerning, our ability to judge, our ability to have relationships with other people. A chatbot or AI can give me a fantastic write-up on something, but I as a human should still have the capability to A, understand it is good or it is relevant. Or if I have these three options, these brilliant options that AI has given to me, then which one of these three work best? There was this Will Smith movie about robotics. iRobot. And people who've seen the movie would remember that Will Smith used to hate robots because there was this time when, this is science fiction, so he was drowning in the car with a little child, and this robot came in and saved him and not the child, because the robot or the technology felt that he had a better chance of survival. Now a human might have taken a different approach to it. So while technology works on what is most probable, but there are times when the most probable is still not the right thing to do. So if we have to prepare our children for that future, we have to change our classrooms now to incorporate that need of the future. Have AI assist us, but incorporate that need. I'm not pointing questions to anybody in particular, but how much time in our schools are we giving to cultivate relationships? To have children figure out, how do you disagree respectfully, or how do you offer counter arguments? How do you empathize? How do you think critically? And if these kids have to succeed, and if we have to succeed, chances are that AI is not going to take over our jobs. So we are fairly safe till we retire. Because even if the parents 20 years hence don't need what we teach them in the classroom, they still need our daycare services. But our classrooms need to shift. So this conversation alongside how will AI assist learning needs to also shift to how do we make our children more human and allow them to stay relevant. Do I have time for a couple of questions? I have 5 minutes. I open the floor for anything that you might want to add to this, subtract to this, or ask as a question. Okay, okay, 2 hands. Right. You're not a maths teacher? You get a chance. Welcome to you.
Thank you. Basically, in a class, we see the level of learning is different. So definitely AI will give a long prospect to learn for individual. Now, the thing is how we can measure the outcome. That is very important thing when we are using AI and measuring the learning of individual in the class. The level may be different.
So AI is already there on assessments. There is some very good work that's happening, and the gentleman sitting right in front of you, Aditya, he's done some fabulous work on even writing recognition and then going back to, so a child actually writes the maths question and they point it to a camera and the camera figures out at which step of the problem did the child go wrong. So as an educator, I give my children answer scripts, right? So you got 10, you got 20. But with this tech, you can actually give this child a detailed write-up of this is exactly where you went wrong, and maybe these are concepts that you want to revise. But very often, after we give results, we never go back to that chapter. So we make an announcement that you did not figure this out, and now you're on your own or go find a self-tuition. So AI tech is available for this, and it is developing every day. So I would definitely use it. I'll come to you in a moment. I'll come to you as well, ma'am, if I have time. Here you go. So if this is not going to pass, then are we now on this question of what does it take to be human? Because since we have records, since we have history, we are the only people who've been able to think. And we take pride in the fact that both of our fingers can do this. And none of the other animals can. So it's actually for the first time that we've got technology that is starting to compete with us. If I would ask anybody in the room to say, give me 10 script ideas for AI, it would take maybe a day. But if I would ask the same thing to ChatGPT, it'll give it to me right now. So these kids who are in our school are going to find themselves in jobs that we can't conceive. Yet our responsibility is to have them ready for that world. And for us to be really ready for that world, we need to understand what it truly means to be human, and what is that something that technology cannot do, or cannot do just yet, or shouldn't do. Are you with me here? To me as an educator, one of those prime things is our ability to be discerning, our ability to judge, our ability to have relationships with other people. A chatbot or AI can give me a fantastic write-up on something, but I as a human should still have the capability to A, understand it is good or it is relevant. Or if I have these three options, these brilliant options that AI has given to me, then which one of these three work best? There was this Will Smith movie about robotics. iRobot. And people who've seen the movie would remember that Will Smith used to hate robots because there was this time when, this is science fiction, so he was drowning in the car with a little child, and this robot came in and saved him and not the child, because the robot or the technology felt that he had a better chance of survival. Now a human might have taken a different approach to it. So while technology works on what is most probable, but there are times when the most probable is still not the right thing to do. So if we have to prepare our children for that future, we have to change our classrooms now to incorporate that need of the future. Have AI assist us, but incorporate that need. I'm not pointing questions to anybody in particular, but how much time in our schools are we giving to cultivate relationships? To have children figure out how do you disagree respectfully, or how do you offer counter arguments? How do you empathize? How do you think critically? And if these kids have to succeed, and if we have to succeed, chances are that AI is not going to take over our jobs. So we are fairly safe till we retire. Because even if the parents 20 years hence don't need what we teach them in the classroom, they still need our daycare services. But our classrooms need to shift. So this conversation alongside how will AI assist learning needs to also shift to how do we make our children more human and allow them to stay relevant. Do I have time for a couple of questions? I have 5 minutes. I open the floor for anything that you might want to add to this, subtract to this, or ask as a question. Okay, okay, 2 hands. Right. You're not a maths teacher? You get a chance.
Thank you. Basically, in a class, we see the level of learning is different. So definitely AI will give a long prospect to learn for individual. Now, the thing is how we can measure the outcome. That is very important thing when we are using AI and measuring the learning of individual in the class. The level may be different.
So AI is already there on assessments. There is some very good work that's happening, and the gentleman sitting right in front of you, Aditya, he's done some fabulous work on even writing recognition and then going back to, so a child actually writes the maths question and they point it to a camera and the camera figures out at which step of the problem did the child go wrong. So as an educator, I give my children answer scripts, right? So you got 10, you got 20. But with this tech, you can actually give this child a detailed write-up of this is exactly where you went wrong, and maybe these are concepts that you want to revise. But very often, after we give results, we never go back to that chapter. So we make an announcement that you did not figure this out, and now you're on your own, or go find a self-tuition. So AI tech is available for this, and it is developing every day. So I would definitely use it. I'll come to you in a moment. I'll come to you as well, ma'am, if I have time. There you go.
AI is pretty much in nascent stage, especially in education. Are there really something out for us which we can really implement for the students, like in practical way? Is there something out there, right?
And the burden was on me that I don't take away from what the speakers today are going to speak about. So there's a lot of very hands-on stuff that is going to be spoken in this room. And yeah, so that answer, the short answer is yes. So even when I wanted to speak about those things, because I thought that would be absolutely the relevant thing to see, but because I had seen their answers, I couldn't use them. Yes, have a bit of patience. Bear with me. So that was the second hand. There were 3 hands that went up initially. There you go.
With the question what you have put up, what does it mean to be a human? For me, of course, the emotions, the values, and the connect with the children that AI will never be able to replace. AI, how much ever stronger it becomes, how much ever strongly it assists the teachers in the classroom, the children who are themselves turning into artificial human being, because if they are going to enter the one prompt to get an answer or to work upon it, they all are going to get the same answer with the same words, with the same vocabulary, and not use this thing.
Empathy and integrity. I'm really happy where this conversation is going. So this room just doesn't have to talk about tech and how this tech is going to get used, but also talk about where tech is not going to get used. So an extension to what you were saying, it is more likely that a doctor's job will be taken by technology than a nurse's job to be taken over by technology. So how do you find significance of that human element and nurture it and have your children move further on that same track? We've got 30 seconds left. You got 15 seconds each.
So, how about that idea Elon Musk is trying to promote, inserting a chip, and
how the future will look like if you're trying to, I mean, because we also have that Keanu Reeves movie. This is how the education is going to look like. All we need is a software.
Watch Ex Machina.
We're already facing a challenge. Till 2 years earlier,